Hi, my name is Kara and this is Sarah, and we're from Informatics, an all things internet company. In today's video, we're going to answer some of the frequently asked questions that we receive regarding SmarterStats. As you may recall, SmarterStats is a web analytic tool that provides you key metrics on the performance of your website. So one of the first questions that we often get is just about logging in.
So when you go to SmarterStats, this is the first screen you're going to see. You'll enter your username and password and your site name or site ID. The site name is typically the domain name that you use to access your site. If you don't know your login information, feel free to contact Informatics and we can set you up with access to your site statistics. So the first question, once you've logged in, might be, where do I find the reports that I'm looking for? Along the far left side, there are icons that represent different categories of reports. These categories are where you can find reports based on the selected criteria.
As Sarah had mentioned, within each of these tabs, there are tons of reports and data that you can use to look at the performance of your website. And so most people say, where do I start? What reports should I be looking at? And really what we recommend is taking a step back. Say, what are the goals that you've established for your website? These goals could range from the number of people that visited your site, people that have submitted a form, visits to a particular page, or certain keywords that are driving traffic. We recommend to identify 3 to 5 key goals that you want to establish and then find reports that correlate to them. Rather than get overwhelmed by the depth and the amount of data available, figure out what makes sense for you.
Once you've found the report that you're looking for, you can customize the report to fit your needs. At the top of every report is a gray bar that allows you to customize based on date range, chart, there's group by and sort dropdowns, and some reports have a row dropdown. These dropdowns have different options so that you could select a different type of chart. You could group by different time periods, such as hours, weeks, or months. Or you can sort by the different elements of each report. And just make sure, once you've made a change to your report, to click the Generate Report button so that you know that the data has updated for the changes you've made.
On this particular report, you'll see 3 columns at the bottom: page view, visits, and hits. And that's often another question, is what is the difference and which one should I actually be monitoring? So to kind of walk through them, page views will be the number of times a particular page has been viewed. So for example, the About Us page, it could be viewed 10 times, and so that would be 10 page views. Whereas visits, on the other hand, is that particular user. So it will be one person that could visit many pages during a specific time period. So as an example, if I were to visit a website, I would be one visitor. During that visit, I look at 5 pages. That would be 5 page views. And then the last column is hits. Hits refers to any element. It could be an image, it could be file, it could be things behind the scenes that are downloaded when you access that website. So kind of going back to my example, if I have visited a website, I'm one visitor, I viewed 5 pages, that's 5 page views. On each of those pages, let's say there are 10 elements that have to be downloaded. So that would be 50 total hits during my one kind of visit to that website. If you're wanting to know just people, knowing how many people have visited, the visitors is probably the best metric to look at among the other 3.
And you might notice some of the reports you look at. For this example, we'll look at the referring site report. Might have lines in the data that say no refer or unknown. And these are common. It might just be that the user has security on their computer that doesn't allow that information to be transmitted to the analytic package. And so they want to still report that information to you, but it's just there's no detail to display.
SmarterStats is not the only analytic package available. Another very common one is Google Analytics. And most of the time people ask, what is the difference between these two stat tools? At a high level, the difference is in how they actually analyze data. Google Analytics is a script-based analyzer, which means a small piece of code is placed on a website, and when a user visits it, it's transmitted back for analyzation. Whereas SmarterStats is a log-based analyzer. This means that when a user visits a website, it's tracked in a log at the server level. Both of them have pros and cons. Both of them offer a great deal of reporting and statistics available. In the end, some people choose to use both because of just the different reports and flexibility that each has. The one thing to remember about these two is that they will report data differently. As I mentioned, they analyze data differently. So the number of visits during a time period will differ between Google Analytics and SmarterStats. In the end, the thing to remember is that really you need some stat package. You need something to monitor the performance, whether you choose SmarterStats or Google Analytics. It's going to provide key data and performance information so you can continue to improve and optimize your website.
We've gone over some of the high-level reporting within SmarterStats. If you have more advanced questions, feel free to interact with us on social media via Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+. You can also check out our website at informaticsinc.com.